From virtual reality to smartphones and now smart homes, 2015 promises to be a big year in tech. More than 3,500 exhibitors will be in Las Vegas on Tuesday to unveil the next big thing at the Consumer Electronics Show, or CES. CNET senior editor Dan Ackerman will be there, but this morning he is here with us with a preview. Man, this is the 11th year. Do you get a door prize?
That's right. I think after you go for a decade, you get like a gold pass or something.
Talk to us a little bit about how this show is different, because there are so many, it seems like, where we get a preview of tech.
Yeah, there are a lot of technology trade shows, and big companies have their own events. This is sort of the biggest one. It really gives you a roadmap of what's coming, not just later this year, but you see stuff that won't really be out for consumers for even 2 or 3 years. So it's really their first chance to see a lot of new technology ideas.
Dan, there's so much buzz going on now about smart homes. What are we going to see coming ahead in this year?
That is really probably the biggest buzz area. They're finally taking these ideas that we've toyed around with for years, whether it's smart appliances or smart sort of home climate control things, and working them in with phones, and they're finally getting to the point where they're actually practical. A lot of the big companies like Samsung and LG are devoting a lot of their floor space at CES to things like, stoves and refrigerators and air conditioners, sure, but also things like, I love the concept of having a lock on your door, and when your phone gets close to it, it goes, oh, you're home, and just unlocks the door for you. Practical things like that people could actually install and use.
So do you think this is the tipping point then? Because I feel like these have all been, we've sort of heard about them for a while now. Is this now they're mainstream this year, you think?
They're becoming much more mainstream because they see a chance to get people to sort of reinvest in their homes and buy a lot of this new stuff. And also, even though Apple will not be at CES, they have their own sort of back end for this called HomeKit. So a lot of companies will be building devices that work with Apple's HomeKit platform, and we'll see some of those at CES.
There's still a lot of traditional tech products out there, of course, like computers and TVs. What are some of the new things we need to look out for there?
Yeah, TVs are always a huge deal here. So are computers, obviously a big technology show. For televisions, they really want you to upgrade that 1080p TV, maybe a plasma or an LCD you bought a couple years ago. It's hard to get you to upgrade because it still looks pretty good, probably still works well. They tried 3D a few years ago. That didn't really take off. Right. This past year, they tried curved screens. There's 1 or 2 models with that. We may see some more. They're going to throw a lot of names at you, like quantum dot, which is a new type of screen, like little nanoparticles that sit in front of the screen, and the different size particles reflect different colors of light, supposedly gives you a better picture. If you go to the showroom and you like it, maybe you'll buy a new one.
Is there anything I've got to have, do you think?
I think if you want to get a drone, this might be a good year for drones. And if you're really into virtual reality, you'll see a lot of headsets, big things that you put on your head or otherwise interact with. They give you kind of like you're somewhere else, like 3D stereoscopic view.
I have enough trouble with real reality.
But you mentioned the curved TV. I also saw there's like curved computers now. Also.
Well, Samsung is actually taking that curved TV technology, and one of the few things from CES that's already been announced a little bit early is they're bringing that down to a small desktop computer, like an all-in-one computer. So you have a 20-something inch monitor in front of you that just curves a little bit around your head. It's nice and immersive. It's not deep enough of a curve to be really weird, and if you get used to it, you might find it's a little more fun.
We've covered all the technology for the home, it feels like, but there's also some new technology for cars.
They're always trying to work this into cars too. Apple has a car platform, Google has a car platform. A lot of it's based on entertainment, obviously. A lot of ways to get content from your laptop or your phone into your car. Some cars now come with built-in like 4G antennas, so you can just get internet service in your car. The car becomes a hotspot. But also a lot of things about communicating between cars, things like collision avoidance. And I think that if they want to, and driverless cars. So that's really the future stuff. You'll see a lot of demos of kind of driverless car stuff. You won't see it available for sale anytime soon. I think there's a lot of issues to work out with that.
How far off do you think that is, Dan?
Regulation-wise, I think it's many years off, because I think every state is going to have to go through it and figure out how they're going to regulate and legislate this. And the insurance issues, I think, will be off the wall. But it's really fascinating to see a car be able to, let's say, go park itself while you're standing there watching it. So you see that as kind of a demonstration. Don't expect to buy that anytime soon.
Well, feel free to bring us back something from the CES.
Free samples.
We don't mind at all.
On this show, Dan.
I'll bring an extra suitcase.
Dan Ackerman, thank you so much.
Thanks.